Good morning, everyone. This is Tim Wilmot speaking from Wizard Systems. Thanks for joining me today for GoldMine 101, our regular series of short GoldMine presentations focusing on different GoldMine topics. And this morning, I'm going to cover different ways of sending and managing messages to your colleagues, assuming, of course, they're fellow GoldMine users, messages about contacts, or projects or opportunities in your system. Now this presentation will be about a quarter of an hour or so. It's just a short overview of some of the options here, not meant to be in-depth training. My company Wizard Systems offer many extensive training options should you need them. Now on the call today we've got people using all sorts of different versions of GoldMine. Pretty much everything I'm explaining to you is relevant to all recent releases of GoldMine. Now the audio part of this presentation is one way only. If you've got any questions, please type those into the question box on your meeting control panel and I'll do my best to answer those at the end. It's probably best to type them in as soon as you think of them rather than waiting till the last minute. If any late questions come in, sometimes they do, people thinking of some last questions there, I'll probably answer those separately by email. And also at the end, I'll give you an update on any GoldMine product news that we've got for you. This call is being recorded. After the presentation, you will get an email with a link to the recording that you can play back when you want to. And also, we'll most likely post it to our YouTube channel as well. Okay, so let's get started. As I normally do, just a brief mention about Wizard Systems, my company. We are a top supplier of GoldMine worldwide. We've implemented over the years well over 3,000 GoldMine systems into all sorts of different types of companies, and we can provide any assistance you need around the GoldMine system, including we also do support and supply about a dozen of the popular add-on options to GoldMine as well. So we provide any implementation help, upgrades, updates, training. We can do training at your place. You can come to our premises. We're based just north of Bristol. We can also do training online and also ongoing technical support as well. Okay, so let's get into the topic this morning, managing internal messages in GoldMine. So here's GoldMine, a contact record. We're on the latest release here. So messaging a customer. So imagine the scenario, a client has phoned in or you need to pass a message to a colleague about a customer. What are the options? Well, the classic option might be to schedule an activity. You can delegate activities, of course, to colleagues. So you might schedule a task or a call to a colleague about the nature of this inquiry. So I can now obviously, this schedule a call dialog box, top right corner, I can schedule the message for another user. In the reference line, I can pop in the subject of the message, whatever that might be, and then you've got notes. You can type in the more detail about this particular message for colleague Jane. You also have option to alarm it, get an RSVP, code it as well, color it and so on. So that would appear on Jane's activity list and will be visible on the pending tab, showing all of the other outstanding activities about this contact. So that's option number one, to use the normal scheduling capabilities there. Option number two, above the contact record is a message button. Works in a similar way to a phone call, but a little bit simpler or giving you less options. Specifically, this is for, as it says here, a phone message. And we're prompted first of all for an activity code, which you might see all over the place in GoldMine. Basically, these activity codes are generally 3 letters that help you categorize this activity, this task, and they could be really useful on later reporting and how you view and manage your time as well when you see your activities in a long list. So I want to schedule this message for colleague Jane again, and I have a few checkboxes here which allow me to build up the message. Do you see there as I'm checking those boxes, it's appending different bits of text to add to that message. Again, I can alarm it, RSVP, add on notes as you want to. Click OK, we'll send that call to Jane, and again that's visible on the pending tab and in Jane's activity list. So that's option number 2. Option number 3, potentially, and I do know some GoldMine users do use this, there's the internal GoldMine email feature. So with the customer record in front of you, this is one way of doing it. I can go up to the schedule menu and select GoldMine email. This is the internal email feature of GoldMine. It's been in the system a long time, and this is where we're presented with a compose email screen, which just allows us to pop in a bit more information about this request or call or query or whatever it might be. So again, I select the user. Obviously it could go to a distribution list there as well, so you could actually have groups of users. So if you wanted to send something to a group of users, you could create a group of users called customer service, and it will go to all of them in one easy process. So I've selected the user. Now the other nice feature with emails in GoldMine is the ability to use email templates. So common emails that you may send to not only to customers but also to colleagues, populating the subject line and the message body with some standard text. So I've just clicked on the down arrow next to the subject line there, and here's one example, a sales forecast email which I might send to Jane. Maybe I'm the sales manager and I want to check on this contact and where we're at with Jane. Send it as you want to, off it goes. Again, it appears on the pending tab as a message and will appear in Jane's email inbox. So there's the 3 options, the main options there that we find people are using for tracking internal messages, quite a few. There's no right or wrong method. You might even use a combination of all of those, but there should be plenty of options there for you to decide on which is the best method going forwards. So as I normally do on these short sessions is open up our call now to any questions that you've got. So please type those into the question section on your meeting control panel. First question from Viv: why wouldn't you just use Outlook? Okay, so there is an Outlook integration. I assume you're referring to the Outlook integration with GoldMine. And as per many CRM systems work in this way, when you send an email via Outlook, the recipient, when they get that email, the system will link the email to the sender's email address. So this message, okay, so your colleague is going to get this message via Outlook, that's fine. But in GoldMine, in your CRM system, it will be linked to me, Tim Wilmot, and not to the customer, Fred Blogs, for example. So yes, of course you could do that, but you wouldn't get that nice linking. The whole beauty about GoldMine is that everything is linked back to the client's record. All of those different options I showed you, they're all automatically linked to that client's record. Of course, they could be unlinked as well. If you had a phone message about a contact that didn't exist in the system, you could just uncheck the link to contact checkbox that you might have seen on the various dialog boxes that I showed you. So hopefully that answers your question, Viv. Next question from Tim: can you search for messages? Yes, you can. Well, in your email center in GoldMine, you can search for things there. Also, there is a feature of GoldMine called Universal Search. In the top left corner of your GoldMine screens, there's a universal search box, which is a bit like a Google a Google-like search in GoldMine. You can type in any word or phrase and it will find it for you wherever it is in the system, and you can refine your search just to look at activities and messages. So quite a few different ways of finding information. You can also do searches in your activity list as well, so quite a few options there, Tim. Next question from Lee. How can you prioritize a call? Well, you could of course use the alarm feature. You could also use a combination of that plus the 3-letter codes. So the activity codes allow you to just categorize that call, and whenever you see your calendar or your activity list, you can filter all of the activities you see by that activity code. So you drill down and see the top priority activities that you need to focus on. Next question from Linus: is GoldMine compatible with QuickBooks? There is an add-on with QuickBooks, Linus. Also, some people use the quotation option with GoldMine called QuoteWorks, which too has a link to QuickBooks. So yes, depending on the version you've got there, QuickBooks, the version that you've got there, Linus, there are options. There's an add-on option to integrate GoldMine with QuickBooks to share information and see financial transactions there. Okay, I don't think there's any more information. Oh, next question from Linus. Thanks for another question there, Linus. How do you activate the GoldMine browser for remote access? You might be referring to the GoldMine web feature, Linus, of GoldMine. GoldMine web is a new feature of GoldMine included with GoldMine. It does need to be installed. We do recommend that Wizard Systems install this. It doesn't take a particularly long time for us to install it for you. And we have focused on this GoldMine web capability on a few of our previous Tuesday sessions. You'll catch some recordings up on our YouTube channel. But yeah, the way of activating is to install it. You've got to be on the two things. You've got to be on the latest version of GoldMine, and the GoldMine web feature has to be installed. And GoldMine web is a very, very secure way of your colleagues accessing GoldMine remotely via their browser, via the web, via the browser of their choice, but also from a smartphone and a tablet as well. I'll send you more information on that, Linus, after the call this morning. Okay, so just a bit more information on any GoldMine updates we've got for you. We have a GoldMine introduction training course on the 1st of November at our Bristol base, ideal for new starters, going through all the day-to-day basics of GoldMine. And we do cover the topics we covered this morning. You know, how do you use GoldMine for managing your activities, scheduling calls, tracking activities, using your calendar and so on, all part of the intro course for GoldMine. So please contact us for any information on that. Also, we're pleased to announce the latest monthly hotfix for the latest release of GoldMine 2016.1. So the latest version of GoldMine is 2016.1. If you don't know what version you're on right now, just go to Help and About in GoldMine, or when you log in, you're on the login banner, you will see confirmation of what version you're on. So every month a hotfix comes out. The latest hotfix is number 5. We are expecting more of a major update, 2016.2, in November time, and we will of course be running, rest assured, another Tuesday session on that new release and show you all the new features of that. But these monthly hotfixes, they're little sort of minor updates and well worth it to keep up to date. Doesn't take long to apply them to your GoldMine system, and you can access these as part of your annual GoldMine maintenance contract with us. More information on the hotfix is up on our blog. We have the most active blog probably in the world as regards GoldMine news, hints and tips, and information on any GoldMine updates and add-ons. As always, please email me if you've got any really good suggestions for future topics, anything that might be relevant to, it's got general appeal. So something that might be of interest to all GoldMine users out there. Please email me any suggestions, but we look forward to speaking with you on our next session. Hopefully will be next Tuesday. So stay tuned for any our invites that go out for that, normally on a Friday or a Monday just before that Tuesday. But thanks very much for your time this morning, and have a good week, and we'll speak to you soon. Thank you very much indeed.